Hello fellow cadets, today we'll be looking at the biggest issue known to any new recruit, ironing your overshirt. Ironing is a bit like covering up for a murder. It's tedious and annoying, but you have to do it, otherwise people are going to notice. Before we begin, I'll go over some quick ironing notes for those who have not done it before. The hot surface of an iron is great for removing your fingerprints, but I recommend you not do this as it is quite painful. So, do not touch the surface of your iron as it will hurt a lot. On the handle of your iron, you will see two buttons. One is a mist that will shoot water out at the front, and another is for a steam. For the purposes of this video, we will only be using the spray. When you are finished ironing, always leave your iron on the flat bottom. Never leave your iron straight on the ground like that, unless you like your house burning down, which is not recommended as it may damage your uniform. To fill your iron up with water, simply open the hatch and pour water down until it reaches the max line. Regarding ironing boards, I recommend you have something with a little bit of give to it, like what I have here. Some people have wooden ironing boards, which is not recommended as the hard surface will allow creases from the front of your uniform to transfer to the back. If you have this, I recommend you use a towel or something like that just to absorb some of those creases, especially on those collars. You could even use something like a sponge. The first step in ironing your overshirt is doing the middle back. To do this, simply put your overshirt over your ironing board like what I'm doing here, with your collar in the middle of everything at the end of your board. Make sure there are no folds present in your uniform, as that will make issues for you later. Once you've made sure that your uniform is nice and flat, you can finally get to ironing your uniform. Ensure you're using long, smooth strokes in order to get those creases out. Once that's done, you can move your shirt over to the side to begin on the first half. Once you have placed it with the armpit in the peak of the ironing board, like shown here, simply iron this section evenly. And once that's done, put the front of your overshirt flat on the ironing board and continue to iron. Make sure when you're doing this to avoid buttons and zippers, as these will create imprints on your shirt which are really easy to spot and very hard to get out. After you've completed both the front and side areas of your shirt, simply flip and repeat for the other half of your uniform. After that, you can move on to the arms. Start by undoing the button or velcro strap that holds it together at the cuff and extend it out to as far as it will go. Then, lie the arm flat on the ironing board with the seam on the corner as shown here. If the seam is not on the corner, you run a greater risk of creasing the edge of your arm, which is not ideal. Using this method, you only need to be careful of one seam rather than two. Please note that some uniforms may not have a seam, which is fine. Once you've completed that and done the same for your other arm, you can now go into the final step of your shirt. The collar is the staple of your uniform. There is no other part of your presentation that will get more critique than these two overlapping pieces of cloth. Here is an image of what they'll look like in the end. To iron these properly, you should first grab one side and fold it over your board, like so. From here, you can then cleanly flatten the corner out as much as you can. Make sure to use some of that aforementioned water mist to ensure it's really clean and neat. Once you've done the first half, continue on to the other side. Once you've done both sides, start on the back. Make sure that both creases of the sides line up with the back. And then, once you've done the collar, you're finished. Now you can get back to learning about first aid and how to talk on a radio properly. If you enjoyed the vid, make sure to hit a like, subscribe, and leave your controversial thoughts on ironing down in the comment section.